What is up, guys? Welcome into Benstant Reaction, a spin-off of the Ben Garcia Show. We talk about a game, a big trade, breaking news in the NFL, the NBA landscape. We got a lot of things to talk about on this edition of Benstant Reaction. Each and every week, we are doing a post-game, just quick analysis, or an instant reaction, if you will, to whoever the Arizona Cardinals are playing each and every week. You guys seem to really like those. These are some of my best performing videos, so I will continue to get those out to you guys. I don't really ask this very often, but aside from liking, sharing, subscribing, we are doing tremendous numbers here at the Ben Garcia Show. We couldn't be more thankful for you doing that for me, but also you could follow me on all social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, Twitter. I am there. If there's a social media platform, my handle will be at Ben Garcia Show. It is easy. It's the same thing everywhere, so I appreciate you guys doing that. You guys can follow along like in an instant version. I'm tweeting during the game, talking, whatever it is. So you guys will see all the breakout clips there as well from the show, so I appreciate you guys doing that. But with that being said, let's jump right into this. You guys really seem to like some just instant, raw analysis of these games. You guys seem to like that. I'm not a fanboy. It's very easy for me to take off the fanboy shades or the put the pom-poms down. It's what I do. And one time someone said that this was their favorite Cardinals fan page because maybe the Cardinals were doing well and I was praising them, but this has never been that. Praise them when they do well and obviously go after them when they're doing poorly. So if there was a way to sum up this game as the Arizona Cardinals beat the New England Patriots 30-17. If there was a way to summarize this game, I kept on thinking about, because I'm constantly thinking about what am I going to say? How am I going to spin it this way? This is what I do as a broadcaster, as an analyst, as a podcaster, as whatever it is, right? As a, speaker. And I'm thinking, how do I sum up this game? Because Kyler didn't really play particularly well, but he wasn't really asked to do so. Beating the Kyler Murray drum every week does get a little annoying and a little repetitive. And I can't just make something out of Kyler, although I do have a couple of thoughts that we'll get to in just a second. But overall, if you want my just God-honest opinion, the Patriots are just awful. This game was never close. Not because the Cardinals manhandled the Patriots. In fact, we'll get to in just a minute why I'm a little disappointed in this win. Even though 30 points, they did run away with it at the end there. But this Patriots team is awful. Everyone should be scoring 30 points on this team each and every week. Defensively, you can tell they're decently well coached, or they have the ability to have a presence defensively, hit you hard. But offensively, they don't have any playmakers. Drake May had a nice throw for a touchdown, which was more of like a flip. He was 19 for 23 today. He had an interception that was not his fault. He tried to get a guy to sit down in the middle of the field. His receiver drops that pass, gives it right to Sean Murphy bunting. But overall, Keyshawn Boot was the guy that dropped that interception. I was trying to find that. But overall, Patriots are just a really bad football team. It is so hard to analyze the Arizona Cardinals because they should just win this game. And they won 30-17. I kind of wish it was a little bit more than that, but you're just running out the clock towards the end. There's not really much you can do. If you're just trying to run up the score, this isn't Madden. It doesn't do anything for me. And as I'm watching the game, you can't fool me. I'm not a box score guy. But there's a few things from this game that I think we can take away from. And I think the first thing, right off the bat, I know they scored 30 points today. I know they ran the ball pretty effectively. They spread the ball around decently. Maybe I was watching a different game than everyone else. Maybe I was. I don't know how you keep Drew Petzing employed much longer. This is an offense with Marvin Harrison Jr., with Trey McBride, with Michael Wilson, who didn't have a catch today, with James Conner, and with Kyler Murray, who, yes, we've had issues with in the past, but he's still a top half of the NFL starting quarterback. Like, if we're just being fair, Kyler is, at worst, the 16th best quarterback in the NFL, probably 14, 15, regardless right now. I think that's fair for all of us to put him there. Not really good enough to take you to a Super Bowl, we don't think, but also not bad enough to lose every single game for you, although Kyler's been a little reckless, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But this offense is anemic. It is. On one side, you have Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, scheming up plays and making it look easy against a good Bills defense, scheming up plays for his left tackle. That is what he's doing. On the other side, you have Drew Petzing, who can't throw the ball downfield effectively, regardless who it is. It could be Marvin Harrison Jr., it could be Trey McBride, whoever it is. He has a hard time doing so. And it just gets frustrating after a while to have to watch week after week, regardless of what the excuse is for Drew Petzing. I can't see an offensive coordinator on another team scheming up plays effectively for his left and right tackles and doing it for fun and having hook and lateral plays and doing just the most creative things you could do offensively. And then Drew Petzing, with an arsenal of weapons, make this the most conservative offense I've ever seen. He is calling plays and coaching like he has Tyrod Taylor as his quarterback and not Kyler Murray. And I know, put your bias aside for Kyler. Maybe you like the guy, maybe you don't like the guy. He can still throw the ball downfield pretty effectively. Kyler at times makes some really head-scratching moves, but I just have to be honest. Kyler does have the ability to throw the ball downfield. And Drew Petzing has to be able to use him effectively and not use it like it's a Tyrod Taylor BB gun offense. It just gets frustrating each and every week to have the same conversation about your OC, where I'm seeing creative OCs like Joe Brady and Ben Johnson, and each and every week we're having the same discussion of where is Marvin Harrison Jr.? It just gets frustrating each and every week to be having the same conversation as all. And when you have these arsenal of weapons, whether it's McBride or Harrison or Wilson or Connor, and you can't use those effectively to beat up early in this game against the New England Patriots, it's just time to make a change. And if you want to write it out with Drew Petzing for the rest of the year, that's fine. Do so. But this idea that he's going to change 15, 16 weeks into the NFL season, it's just not going to happen anymore. It's just not going to happen. People don't change, or I guess I should say coaches don't change who they are 16 weeks into the NFL season. They don't just miraculously open up the playbook. So everyone out there that's wishfully thinking that he's going to change, he's not going to. Petzing is who he is. He's a conservative play caller who doesn't really believe in his quarterback, and that needs to change. Because calling the offense like you have Tyrod Taylor as your quarterback, a conservative, precise thrower, but largely not going to take a lot of deep shots downfield, and you're coaching a game like that's your quarterback, you have no chance of being a effective playoff team in the future. Kyler Murray, again, like I said, with all of his gripes, with all the biases that people have towards Kyler, he throws a pretty good deep ball. And the ability to not continue to make this happen downfield, it drives me insane. And it makes me very jealous to see other teams with OCs who have the ability to throw it downfield and do it effectively. We can't keep having this conversation. Keep Drew Petzing for the rest of the year. That's fine. It's week 16 next week. But at the end of the season, I've seen enough. I don't want to hear anymore. We got to get Marvin Harrison Jr. going. I'm over it. I'm over it. And today was the last straw for me. Really, it's been weeks before, but I understand they ran the ball effectively. But we got to get guys going. This is a build confidence game. And it's a good win. 7 wins on the season. You have to be able to see around corners. And I can do that. And I know fans can do that if they just really put the fanboy glasses down, put the pom-poms down, and think about it. You have to think, next year, is he going to change? Probably not. Good guy. I've talked to Drew Petzing before. I've interviewed Drew Petzing before. I've asked him questions before. Good guy. It's time to move on. And it drives me insane when people say, well, I'm not going to call for people's jobs. He's not a manager at your local Walmart, guys. He's an OC of a football team. He'll be perfectly fine. He makes just enough money. The guy isn't going to go belly up because he loses a position. These are places of privilege. And Petzing's got to go. Now, as I rambled on a little too long about Petzing, I do want to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. because there were some shots downfield in this game that I felt like were there for the taking. Truly, I did. Marv, it is okay to say this about Marvin Harrison Jr. because I know Cardinals fans, they want to really cling on to their guy, their number 4 overall pick, and I get that. Marv is fun, and I was one of those people who did not oppose with drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. because he was seen as the best player in the draft, and he's fun, and he's electric, and he's a wide receiver, and he catches the football. But I was one of the few people, and I'm pretty proud to say I was one of the few people to say, hey guys, Marv is fun, and I think he'll be good, and I still think he'll be good. And I think he'll be effective. And heck, I think he still might be a number 1 wide receiver. This is not a Marv is a bust or Marv stinks take. My only idea was, this game is won in the trenches, and Joe Alt is there, and he's just as much of a sure thing as Marvin Harrison Jr. is. And are you ever going to have the ability to be able to select a sure thing left tackle, right tackle in the next few years? And I was told that you just got to take Marv because he's awesome. And my argument for it was, you can get wide receivers everywhere, guys. T. Higgins is going to be there for the taking. Either T. Higgins or Jamar Chase could be there for the taking. I mean, Tyreek Hill was traded. A.J. Brown was traded. You can find a wide receiver anywhere in the NFL. It's fair to say at this point that Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't been everything you've wanted and more. And that's hard to deal with. That's hard to get your arms around. It's frustrating for a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. But the idea is, you just need to be able to make those plays. And today, Marv had a couple of times in this game where he had the ability to make the big play, to get the crowd going, to make the touchdown. He didn't do that. And I can't lie. It's hard because Marv, when you just look at the statistics, he's been pretty good this season. But I just want more. And I don't know if I feel this way or if it's the large feeling of other Cardinals fans, but I'm left each week with just wanting more from Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's where I feel with that. Marv, I just need him to make those plays downfield when Kyler puts the ball in the breadbasket. Lastly, Kyler was fine today. And I said on Friday, Kyler can't do anything to help his case. He can't do anything to hurt his case as the future quarterback of the NFL. The only way he can buy everyone back, and I stand by this, is that Kyler has to have the ability to win these next 4 games, get into the playoffs, and somehow do that. That's the only way. He's got to win the next 4 and get into the playoffs. There's not much you can say about Kyler today. He was fine. He was good. They didn't ask him to win this game. He was largely a game manager through most of this game, and that's fine. They ran the ball super effectively. But this team, the only way they're going to buy, or the only way people are going to buy Kyler Murray back or going to buy his stock back if he goes on a run here and wins the final 4 games and either gets in the playoffs or for some reason just misses. But I don't see them making the playoffs this year. I tweeted out earlier, it was pretty disappointing that at week 15, before the Cardinals started, that they're probably not going to be a playoff team this year. They're virtually eliminated. Now, can you still win 10 games and still buy everyone back? Maybe. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you win 9 games. Maybe people feel that way. We know Kyler can play effectively or play well against bad teams when the game doesn't really matter. The biggest question with Kyler is, can he play well when the lights are the brightest? Can he make the play when the play is needed to be made? That was never going to happen this week. It's the New England Patriots. No one cares. This was a middle-of-the-pack team versus a really bad team. Kyler couldn't help his stock. He could only hurt his stock. If he was awful today, could have really hurt his stock. He put a couple of balls right in the breadbasket of Marvin Harrison Jr. Those should have been caught. Trey McBride probably should have scored on that one shovel pass. But largely, they ran the ball really effectively. I would like to see him distribute it a little bit better. Maybe target Marv a little bit more. But again, it's tough because this offense is so anemic with Drew Petzing. But overall, I thought Kyler was good. It's perfectly what he was. But we have to wait to see more. If they win 10 games this year, or they win 9 games this year, and he does it in really convincing fashion, and he wins the games that you have to win. You can't lose next week. You got to win that game against the Panthers, and he beats the Rams, and he beats the 49ers, and he somehow sneaks into the playoffs, or he just misses the playoffs. That's the only way he can buy everyone back. So this week meant nothing to me. He was fine. He was effective. I'm still in on Kyler. Last week, I was really close to breaking up with him. I'm still in on him. But overall, Kyler was fine this week. Overall, good win. They got a good win, 30-17 at home. Lastly, I couldn't care less about all the Patriot fans that were there today. I'm not going to get angry at fans for selling their tickets. If you don't want the opposing team in, if you don't want the opposing team in your stadium, that's on you. I mean, that's on you to be better. I'm not going to get mad at fans in a crappy economy for selling their tickets. So any media member, any person, any fan that's getting upset because it's probably 45, 55 Cardinals to Patriot fans today, play better. I don't know what you want me to say. Play better. That is the only thing that will bring people to your stadium. I'm not going to get upset in a distracted market with the Suns playing later tonight that fans who have options aren't going to your games. Win games, the fans will show up. That has largely been the thing here in Phoenix. So, not going to get upset with them. Win games that you're supposed to win, and you won't have to deal with things like that. Overall, good win. I don't mean it to sound so depressing, but I just want this team to get back on track. Hopefully they win next week, make it 8-7, set up a huge game against the Rams, and even a bigger game against the 49ers. Overall, Cardinals win 30-17. We'll talk more about things as the week goes on. I'll get a preview for you guys next Friday against the Panthers. Overall, guys, we'll talk about it more. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and please, or don't, follow me on all social media platforms. Appreciate that as well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.